up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we'll be working on the 355. I got an oil pan to put on it. I had to take the intake off, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the intake back on, get the lifters back in the hole once I get the oil pan on. And I gotta make sure my pickup for the oil pan is gonna work with the new pan, as well as I gotta get a block off plate installed here because I run the reverse mount stuff. I'm gonna be changing the thermostat housing to the AN style. That's pretty much it. I've already cleaned everything up. I did that one night. I was just out here bored, and I just went ahead and cleaned the motor up as best I can. I've actually spoke to Mr. Jared Odom about this motor. He's the one that originally built this thing back in the head says June of 2006. So it's been together for a while. It might be older parts, but it's got good internals in it. He remembers this thing making really good power, and he said these heads have been flowed and made really good power with the heads too. So I'm anxious to put in the car and see how it does against these other guys. I mean, I'm one of those other guys with big motors, but unfortunately still waiting on it. Parts are not the easiest thing to come by, and the price tag on that thing isn't the best either. So it might be a little while before I get that big motor back. But I think this little 355 with these good old Pontiac heads, I think it's gonna be all right. Just gotta keep on going at it, and I'm all about seat time this year. I think last year that hurt me a lot, and I need a little bit more experience running with more power, I guess you could say. But that's everybody needs experience, and seat time, you can never have too much. So that's what our main focus for me is this year. But gotta get back where we were with crate stuff. But anyhow, we're gonna get started on work. Got the dogs out here with me, but we'll catch y'all in a minute. We're gonna go ahead and start getting this thing silicone or some RTV on it. Put some nice big globs in the corners. Well, we don't get no leaks right here. All right. I just gotta get these bolts in here. Oh yeah, that's gonna be tight. Barely get my fingers. Probably should have ran a drill bit through these, clean the edges up a little bit, but it'll be all right. One more back here. Ooh, those are gonna be fun. All right, so I've let this RTV set up a little bit. Now I'm gonna start tightening down the pan. Alright, I had to change planes just a little bit. I was using the long sockets for this, but I couldn't. I guess they had a little bit of a run out in them, and I couldn't really get them to, you know, stay true. But now we're just, you know, getting the old pan on it. The pickup looked good to me. I could get a screwdriver between it. It's got probably about an 1/8 inch of clearance on the bottom of the pan. But she's coming along. This thing, just this old pan alone is gonna make this thing look 15 times better. And I know making it look pretty ain't gonna make it go no faster, but having 9 quarts of oil in it, and opposed to, I really don't even know how many quarts of oil that pan was. I know it's full of rust from where it's been setting, but that's another reason why I want to put aluminum valve covers, aluminum oil pan, you know, everything I can to get these parts to last and not cause any future issues. But, I wanted to run studs, but on the ends here, you can't run studs because the way these billet end caps are. But you know, it is what it is. I'm using Allen head bolts, grade 8, so probably don't need to be grade 8, just what I'm using. Back around one more time, check them all over. Yeah, it's much easier just to use a long extension with the short Allen socket. I thought using the long ones would make it a little better, but it was kind of a pain because it just kept missing the head of the Allen bolt. But hey, you live and you learn. Now I can maybe save y'all a few minutes with messing around with it. But there she is. I'm about to flip this thing back over. I actually went ahead and sprayed the heads out where there was some rust, where you know it sat and condensated. And good thing is they're aluminum heads and the rust didn't stick to it. But I'm gonna start getting this thing flipped back over, and get the little side cover on for the fuel pump block off. Well, as y'all might have heard on the last video, when I flipped this motor over to pull the pan off, all the lifters fell out, so having to go back and put them all in. Good thing is they were all labeled, so all the wear on them, on the cam and everything will be the same. So, nothing but a thing, nothing but a thing. But now that we got the oil pan on, should be pretty much, you know, done flipping the motor over, doing all that kind of crazy stuff, which of course I wanted to see what kind of parts were in the bottom end of this thing. So we did that, and we found some good parts in it. I'm happy with what we found, at least. So we can feel a little bit more insured about it, I guess. Just a little bit more insurance. I mean, that's pretty much all any of this stuff is cheap insurance, just to know this thing's gonna last us. And I mean, that was the biggest reason for changing the oil pan, is just that little bit of cheap insurance. You know, having a good oil pan on it holds a little bit more oil, and the oil won't break down quite as fast. But you know, that one's 7. And this one. But I mean, can't wait to get this thing in the car and see what it can do. Alright guys, so something that was pretty cool when I pulled the intake off is, if you look here, the intake gasket is a 1263, and I looked that up using the part number off the intake, and as long as the intake matches the heads, which I'm pretty certain they are, you look right there, it says raised runner. That is that's big news for these heads. I still got to get the fittings to go from this water neck here back to these. But anyhow, she's starting to look like a racing motor. We got the oil pan on down here. We actually changed the motor mounts over to a set that I had laying around. Got my my KRC pulley set on. Spacer, the AN fitting, the block off plate, because I run the reverse mount stuff, so I don't need the fuel pump rod or anything. So I yanked it off. And then I got a set of valve covers coming. Ryan had bought a bunch of stuff, a bunch of parts, and I got to get that set of valve covers from him. And well, he bought a bunch of he bought like a late model sellout to resell, and it came with a nice set of aluminum valve covers, so I'm gonna throw those on there. And I just got to get some tubes welded in for breathers. But this thing is all but ready to go in the car. I'm gonna go up to Earl's on Monday, I believe, and pick up the coupler for it. Then I can set it in the car, and once it's in the car, you know, all the hard stuff's done as far as getting the motor ready. I'll just have to drop the distributor back in it and bolt a carburetor on it and fire up. Y'all drop down in the comments, and for you guys that, you know, been running or racing for a while, I know they do it a lot on the small block 400s, but I don't even remember what they're called. but the little water lines that they run from the back of the head up here to the water neck, what's your opinion on them? Should I put them? Should I run them? Should I not run them? My dad says it's to keep hot spots out of the cylinders, but give me y'all's opinions on that. I'm just curious. I got to get the fittings to put onto the new, with a spacer, the water neck spacer, if you will, and then I'll be able to run those lines. But drop down in the comments, let me know what y'all think, and if you don't mind, just kind of tell me what they're used for and why. Never hurts to learn. But we're gonna end it off here. I'm gonna hopefully have this thing in here in the next week or so, but I got to get to work on this body. As y'all can see in the background, it ain't been touched, so I got to get to work on it. And once I get it going good, we can start working on the wrap. Jamin wants me to get the body hung so we can take a picture of it from the side, and we can actually lay the wrap on the car, and we'll know exactly what it's actually going to look like. But that's going to be a pretty cool video that I'm going to try to do with Jamin. Kind of show y'all what goes into actually making these race car wraps and that kind of stuff. He does it for a living, so, well, he doesn't do race cars for a living, but he runs a sign shop for a living. So he's got plenty of experience with doing that kind of stuff, but he's very particular, and he's got to have everything perfect. He's like me, but in different aspects. But drop down, hit that subscribe button, like the video, and leave us some comments, and we'll catch y'all guys later.